Well, let's go straight to the day's trading action. A range-bound session saw the markets failing to hold on to their gains today. The Nifty and the Sensex ending flat, but with a slight negative bias. While banks fell in line with blue chips, mid-caps underperformed today, and that index fell over 0.25%. Reliance did lend some support to the Nifty, while IT stocks remained a drag. BSE companies have raised a market cap of close to 70,000 crore rupees today. Well, speaking of the markets, we learned from sources that the National Stock Exchange is in talks with market participants on extending trading hours for derivatives. However, sources also add that there is no deadline or timeline by which this decision needs to be taken. Prashant joins us now with the details. Prashant, this is not the first time that an extension of trading hours is being discussed. There's been plenty of back and forth in the past. Where are we today?
Shireen, at least, over the last 10 years more, we've discussed this subject over and over. It comes up every few years. And it has come up now as well. So there is fresh impetus, and I'll tell you why. What we learned from sources is that exchanges led by the National Stock Exchange, the largest exchange, is in preliminary discussions with market participants, brokers mainly, both large, small, to discuss this very issue, which is, should trading hours be extended? And when we say trading hours, the segment we are talking about is basically extending trading hours for equity derivative contracts. Nifty futures is largely what I'm referring to. As you said, no real timeline or a deadline has been kind of set that a decision must be taken by this so-and-so date, or this has to be rolled out if, the decision is to go ahead with this by so-and-so date. So it's an open-ended kind of discussion. But what we what we understand is that an effort is being made to reach out and get serious feedback to kind of look at this once again. Now, there is widespread acknowledgement, and I spoke with, most participants within the stockbroking ecosystem, the stock market ecosystem. There is widespread acknowledgement that before a decision is taken, any decision is taken, the back end has got to be set, which is technology, settlement issues. Right now, markets close at 3:30. There is enough time for settlement. Now we move to T+1. How will all of this happen if trading continues, right? So these are issues which must be settled before a decision is taken. There is acknowledgement of that. Exchanges are of the view that this will be done. Whatever is done will be done in a very gradual way, and they point to the implementation, the rollout of the T+1 settlement cycle. It started with a small bunch of stocks. Then it included more stocks, and over a period of 2 years, the T+1 settlement thing was rolled out. So it's going to be gradual in nature and not everything from day one. The argument which is being sort of given by, of course, this is a view which has been publicly expressed as well, and this is not new. Exchanges do believe that the current hours push volumes offshore, and that's been a pain point for exchanges and even sort of regulators, etc. as well. So how do we bring that volume back? And this perhaps is one way to do it. The other argument which is given, and I think this is something which a lot of trading community also agrees with, is the fact that investors can react to global events much faster. For example, you got a Fed decision late at night. And you've got an instrument here, trading, which you can use to hedge or take a position. It allows you to do that. Where does the regulator stand in the midst of all of this? As of now, we've not heard, of course, officially at all, but there is an enabling provision which was passed by SEBI in 2018, which allows for this to happen. So it's well within the powers of exchanges to roll this out, because SEBI has already said you can do it. So in the case of F&O segment, this can be extended till 11:55 p.m. And of course, in the case of the cash segment, this can be more extended till 5 p.m. Of course, this is a very large change if they would so decide to go ahead with it. And I'm sure the regulator at some point will want to say and will want to be consulted, etc. But technically speaking, the enabling provision is very much there. But I just want to again emphasize all of this is very preliminary discussion, but this is certainly happening, and we'll continue to report on this in terms of how this moves forward. Back to you.
It is a developing story, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opinion both for and against it. And of course, we'll be tracking that right here on CNBC-TV18. Prashant, many thanks for joining us. While staying with the